This is video number 2 for the test on January 8th, Chet Tevet. So question 4 on the sheet is please explain the concept of kinyan, what would generally constitute a kinyan on a sheet, a similar object. So kinyan is the way the property is transferred from one person to another. I have to have in mind that I want the other person to have it, or sometimes by Gazlan, he goes ahead and he takes it from me. And at some point in time, he makes a kinyan that he does an action which shows that it's his. With a sheep, that generally would involve lifting it up. That's the way people would carry sheep, if they would actually go ahead and lift it up, or what's called hagba'ah. By cars, it could be getting the car keys. By a house, it would be getting the house keys. So that's the concept of kinyan. So we learned in our Gemara as follows. Up here for you. That if there was robbers that came and they physically went ahead and they took the sheep out from the pen, and then the sheep wandered and caused damage, then the robbers or the people that are chayav are responsible. So the Gemara immediately says, Pshita, that's simple. Kevan to afkua. Since they took it out, they lifted it up and they took it out, it becomes theirs, the responsibility becomes theirs, the chomili, for everything that happens. So of course, everybody understands that. Why is there a need for the Mishnah to tell me that? They made a kinyan on these sheep, and therefore the sheep go ahead and do damage. They are responsible. So the Gemara comes up with a couple of alternatives. The first one is la. No, that's not what happened. They didn't physically lift up the sheep, because then you're right. It's simple. We need the case of the Mishnah to kamula bababa, which means that they physically never touched the sheep. They came up to the, in the area where the sheep are standing, and the sheep just naturally started to move out. So they were the cause of the sheep moving out. They didn't actually make a kinyan. And according to this day on the Gemara, that then makes them responsible of any damage which then the sheep go out and do. And the Gemara gives a similar case where you have a ma'amid be'emat chavera akamat chavera chayav ma'amid. If I place an animal of Reuven's on Shimon's wheat, and then it eats it, I'm responsible because I placed it there. So Gemara then says, Pshita, of course, I placed it there. No, tzricha de kamla babapa. Again, I didn't actually place the animal there. I just went very close to it and caused it to go and to cause the damage. Comes Abaye to Rav Yosef, and he says that you taught us a little bit differently. That case is not that you just physically just came close to the animal. Maybe that would not make it your responsibility. Unclear. Hekisha, you said when you hit the animal. So it becomes clear that if the ganavim lifted up the animal, they're responsible. If they come close to the animal, according to one day on the Gemara, they're responsible. If they hit the animal, even though they never made a kinyan, certainly they're responsible for any nezek, for any damage, which is the sheep then go ahead and then do. Okay, so let's move over here to the sheet for a second. And we have, again, please explain. Pshita, kevan dafkua kaimalu b'shtar. It's simple that if Listim physically took out the animals from the pen, that is their responsibilities, it's theirs for everything. Of course, they're responsible. And the alternatives that the Gemara gives is that either they came close to the animal, kamla babapa, but they never physically touched the animal, yet they are still responsible, or a kisha b'makel, that they hit the animal, and that makes them responsible. And that's the end of the second video, keeping these short.